For centuries, people have turned to frozen sweets for comfort and celebration. The emperors of China chilled milk and rice. The Romans sent runners into the mountains to bring back snow sweetened with honey. And by the 20th century, Americans had embraced ice cream as synonymous with celebrations big and small. But by the late 1980s, one man, or should I say mad scientist, looked at the scoop and thought, what if there's more? What if the future of ice cream wasn't soft or swirled, but made of tiny, round balls? The result? A frozen curiosity that looked like astronaut food, crunched like cereal, and delighted all who were lucky enough to have parents willing to pay the premium price. And pay they did, at amusement parks, malls, and ballparks, wherever hot sun and sweet tooths collided. But the so-called ice cream of the future had a surprisingly rocky past. It's been through bankruptcies, rivalries, even an explosion. And yet it perseveres, winning over new fans one crunchy scoop at a time. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Dippin Dots.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa.
Dippin Dots.
I'm really setting myself as somewhat of an ice queen. Popsicle, igloo, Dippin Dots.
You know what this is?
What?
I'm sure we've talked about it on pod. For many years, you were jealous that my neighborhood was referred to in the media as the Cone Zone because we have so many artisanal ice cream shops.
A laughable amount of artisanal ice cream. Like,
We
literally.
had McConnell's, we had Jenny's, we had Pinkberry, we had Magpies, we now have Handles. We just, every ice cream place in the world wants to dip their toe in Los Feliz.
And do you eat ice cream?
Not that much. I mean, if I'm going to buy a gallon, I'm not going to go spend $8 on a scoop.
Ice cream is very important to me.
I know.
My period before I had met my beloved, I was a lonely woman.
What are you reading a romance novel? Fourscore
The year
before my
was
beloved.
2008. Before I had met my beloved, I was quite lonely, and I would spend my time. I was unemployed for a period, and I would spend my time going on long walks. And the walk that I liked to take the most was 2.5 miles away, 2.5 miles back to a local ice cream shop, Scoops, which you'll remember you had some art in a show at Scoops. It was a fantastic local ice cream shop.
I thought you were going to say it was fantastic art. Thank you, it was. I did a series of masks made out of gourds. I thought they were incredible. Thank you.
They are incredible. Do you have any in storage that maybe you could send to a listener?
I'm sure I have a couple in storage that I would keep.
Gourds rattling around.
I gave one to my friend Stephanie as a gift. I didn't sell any, but they were very cool.
They were really cool. They were like masks mounted on the wall with like floppy leather ears.
Yeah.
Wait, was the leather from your couch?
No, the leather was, man, I really scammed that leather. There was a place called Butterfield.
Leather Daddies.
There was some fancy store inside of a fancy store. It was like a big place.
HD Buttercups.
Which is going out of business.
Wow.
I just got the email this week.
It's a furniture place
It's
in
a
LA.
huge furniture place with a bunch of stores in it. It's like, it's nice. It's like where rich people go, I think.
Yeah.
And there was a super nice English store there that sold real Union Jack stuff, not Confederate flags.
Not interested.
It had like Union Jack pillows
Also,
and stuff.
probably like a pillow, an ottoman, a wall art. Me going in and be like, you got any bikinis? They'd be like, excuse me, trailer trash.
I will say I have one pillow from there that I bought during the high time of Avatar. I felt like I was rich as the queen. I went there and bought a $200 pillow.
You're kidding.
Which I would now, I mean, that seems insane. I just wanted to feel like Julia Roberts. Like
Unreal.
And it's like French. I still use it. It's a beautiful pillow. It's like leather.
Wait, it's like a throw pillow, like for your couch?
Mm-hmm.
The price of a pillow will stop me in my tracks. There is a really fancy furniture store across the street from my house. And it's hilarious what they have the gall to charge. Like a throw blanket, $895.
Yeah.
Throw pillow, upward to $300. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
They made a joke about that on, I think, one of the Sex and the City movies, if I remember correctly, where Carrie's in her apartment and having a party. And Samantha's in town, and she's got a horny dog, and her dog starts humping Carrie's pillow. And she's like, and Samantha, That's $600.
Sure. And back then, inflation, imagine.
That seems cheap now.
Seems
I buy a
cheap
pillow
now.
that's almost as expensive as Sex in the City. Anyway, so this amazing store, it was so cool and barely attended. It's like I didn't understand how any of these stores worked, because you would get something from one of the stores, but then you would take it to like a central checkout. I think maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, they had leather samples. They had this beautiful apothecary chest, and every drawer had leather samples in it. Nice leather samples. Yeah.
Free, like a paint sample card at Chip at Home Depot, one of those kind of things.
Yeah, but they're like bigger than a 3x5 card.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm sure you're supposed
to make your own damn pillow.
Girl,
How much leather did you take?
I mean, enough to probably make a couch.
Oh my God.
And I went back more than one. I think you're probably supposed to have a shopper. Like,
your car is full of disguises so that you can keep going in again and again. Oh, I'm looking to match the color of my foyer. May I fancy myself to a sample?
Just listen, all I'm going to say is don't look at my car right now.
I saw pool noodles in your car.
Yeah, I carry my own pool noodles because I house sit enough of places with pools, and I just have my own noodles.
It's pretty packed right now. What's the weirdest thing in your car right now?
Giant ceramic strawberry.
Home Goods?
TJ Maxx, clearance sale. I've wanted that strawberry for so long.
I remember. I feel like we were in like a Home Goods or something, and when we did Aldi. And
I've been looking for it for 3 years. Found it this last weekend on clearance.
The fad is done, so now they're throwing them in the dumpster.
Yeah, I'm into everything late. I'm also now currently into Stanley's. We don't have time to talk about that though.
Unbelievable.
We'll go back to Stanley's another time. We have to talk about, I think I teased it last week. Last week I had a button. I had all these things to show and tell, which I don't have this week when I'm actually going to tell the story.
So pause this, go back, pull up a screen capture of last week's episode, and then you'll understand where this is going.
I had, just so you know, I had a button on. You can go look and see that. I don't think I pulled them out. I had 3 medallions and 8 pressed pennies.
Definitely did not see the pennies or the medallions.
I know, and I forgot to bring them here, but we didn't get around to telling the story last week because the show was super long, but it was Spencer's and it was super fun. So let's tell it now. Okay. So last Tuesday, I got a message, or we got a message. I say I because I check the socials more than you.
In bed, in jeans, in shoes.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a listener who goes by Mickey and Makeup. Her name is Nazi. And she reached out and said, listen, she lives in Florida, but she spends a lot of time in Oklahoma, where your husband and Al are from, and loves that team that they like.
We have a really robust Oklahoma following.
Yeah.
By that, I mean like 4 people in the Discord.
That's a lot.
It doesn't take a lot for us to say robust. John will be like, we got 2 new YouTube subscribers. I'm like, hell yeah.
Robust. You did laugh last week when I was like, you guys, we had a surge in YouTube. I was like, we had 6 new subscribers, and you laughed.
Because
I was like,
surge and 6.
This is like few and many.
I know.
We're never going to agree on numbers. So Nazi, who's a longtime listener, Patreon subscriber, she's a huge fan of the Oklahoma Thunder. Is it Thunder or Thunders?
Yeah, the Thunder.
Thunder, goes on the game, puts on makeup, does all this stuff.
Which, by the way, Alpal and David have seen her, because she's been doing this for years. She dresses up. They like tutu girl. She dresses up in like crazy outfits and has awesome makeup and stuff. So you might have seen her in the audience of an NBA game.
Yeah, she's an icon of the games.
She's an icon of the games.
So her, like I said, her screen name is Mickey and Makeup. Mickey being because she is also a Disney adult.
And we do not shame Disney adults around here.
Sometimes we might. Today we're not. I try not to anymore now that I have the pod. I see how ridiculous I am.
I feel like if I had a husband who was a Disney adult, I could cross it. Like, I'm like bi. Like, I could be, you know what I mean? It's not my lane, but something about when I walk in and I smell the waffle cone and I hear the barbershop quartet, I'm like ready to.
Oh, that's why, because they have a barbershop quartet.
Yes.
It's like your wet dream. It's like literally the only place on earth you can still find a barbershop quartet.
Something about being in there, I could be 1 hour in and I'm like ready to buy like a Lilo and Stitch sweatshirt. Like something I've never considered before. It's like, I think I need a Lilo and I need a Jack Skellington backpack. It's like, I don't know. I could transfer if I was with one.
I never saw myself as a tiara girl, but yeah, I'll have a tiara.
I'll have a tiara, $180 tiara.
$180 tiara. She has, listen, this is not to shame her. Maybe I'm not supposed to put her on blast. She has over 100 pairs of Mickey ears.
Everyone has their things.
Their ears. She does not collect the enamel pins. That's a whole nother subset. She does have backpacks. But anyway, so she wrote us and was like, listen, I'm going to be in town. I'm going to be in LA. I have extra tickets for Disneyland. Would you and Marissa be interested in going on Thursday? This is 2 days from when I got
It
it.
was very short notice.
I like to have a lot of notice because my initial reaction being invited to anything is no.
Sure.
You've told this on the show. No way. No, I'm not leaving the house. Absolutely not. And then half a day later, I'm like, I do like this part of the thing that I'm being asked about. And then the next day, I'm like, okay, I'm all in. How can I make this work? How am I getting there?
Yes.
I didn't think you would be able to go because you have kids. I reached out. That was the case.
Yeah.
So I'm chatting with my Avatar gal pals on our thread, and I bring this up. And Jessica's like, I'll go. And I was like, wait, seriously? And I was like, she's like, yeah. So I reached out to Nazi. I was like, hey, Marissa can't go. My friend Jessica, I've gone to Disneyland with her before. We did an Avatar gal pal trip to Disneyland right before the pod. You know how I know? Because when we went, it was the day before you and I were going to take our professional photos that we paid like $900 for.
Yes.
And I was so scared about getting sunburned. So I was like, you guys, I have to stay out of the sun. I have a photo shoot tomorrow.
You're a professional model. These are the sacrifices models need to make.
And then you look at that picture and it's her freaking forehead.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that's how I know the timeline. She's like, of course, bring her. Long story short, like Jessica and I end up going. Jessica picks me up. We go down there. And just so you know, the day that we went was the exact 70th anniversary of Disneyland opening, which
Amazing.
That was a huge selling point for me because I love like nostalgia and history, and I just love the idea of being in that park on
You
its
love like
anniversary.
those like markers, those like moments in time. That's
I
right
remember
up your alley.
turning 70, and I just know what a big deal that is.
You were also being invited free of cost.
Babe, I just I handed you an old joke.
Oh.
I'm not 70.
You're not. No,
I'm-
you're not 70.
right.
We don't joke about Jon being 70 anymore.
Yes. So, of course, I'm also being Disneyland. Here's the thing about Disneyland. It's
not cheap, yeah.
expensive. Like, if you were to go with your family, you need to set
Unbelievable.
aside $2,500.
Yes. And I hate to be, well, I don't hate it. I actually like it back in my day. Hate to be the back in my day gal. But I could go to, a ticket was like $45. I had I think my annual pass was like, it must have been $120, like in that range. Like
When
in
you
high
say
school.
back in my day, that's like the late 90s. It
Yeah.
was also very reasonable. It
crazy.
might have been $70 then, but it
Yeah.
was reasonable.
For sure.
Now they were park hopper tickets. That means you get to go to Disneyland and California Adventure.
Okay.
She said, listen, you absolutely don't have to, but if you want to pick me up from my cousin's house, I can get you free parking as well. Like, she was just so accommodating.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we'll
She's
pick you
awesome.
up. So we pick her up. She's lovely. We met her cousin, Hassan, and his husband, James. And it was just such
This was your first time getting face to face with a freak.
Yeah, Eric Make-A-Mess.
Oh, that's
I met
true.
like 2 weeks earlier. Now things are awkward with us a little. No, they're not at all. He was lovely. We talked for like 45 minutes at a party. And yeah, so this is my second time, but this is like 12 hours. Because
Yes.
if I go to Disneyland, I'm staying for the fireworks. So I don't care if I get there at 6 in the morning because I want to stay until 10. So we met about 10 o'clock. But it's a 12-hour day. And everyone that I mentioned to, they're like, are you sure about this? Like, this could be psychotic. But we had messaged over the months.
You were confident she wasn't trying to like murder you.
I didn't feel like she was trying to murder me.
no.
I think she's like, she knows I'm gay. It's
She's
like
a friend
maybe
of the
another
pod,
gay
yeah.
bestie. Like,
Yeah, she's a
she
friend
does
of the
the
pod.
Insta eggs and like, she reaches out because of Oklahoma.
We know Nazi, yes.
We know Nazi now. Though I wasn't sure her name's Nazi. Even though the thing said Nazi, Mickey and makeup, I was like, Jessica, I don't know her name.
Oh, yeah.
And so I started trying to figure out her name for 15 minutes. And then Jessica was finally like, maybe it's Nazi. And I was like, Nazi's not a name.
Oh, yeah.
And then I finally found it and it was like, had her last name too. It was like, I forget
okay,
what
I
it is.
think
And I was
that
like,
is
oh, her name is Nazi. So that was silly. But we ride all the rides. She basically, like, going to Disneyland with a Disney adult is like,
you
tell them
you must bring a Disney adult with you to Disney. You cannot, maybe back in the day, maybe in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you could go to Disneyland unprepared, with nothing but a paper map. Nowadays,
2025? No.
you can, there are people who rent out their services as Disney adults that you
I
can
would
bring
rent out my services at Disney. 15-minute dad breaks.
alone in the men's room
Meet me behind the pirate ship.
on Tom Sawyer Island in one of the deep, dark caves. I looked into this because there are people who will make your entire itinerary, and then there are people who are like season pass holders where it's like, I'll be your Sherpa, and I'll take you around Disneyland. I'll show you all the tips and tricks, because if you go in unprepared, kids are screaming, everyone's starving, the line's 3 hours, you don't have any passes, lightning lane, who's a what's-its galore. You don't know what the hell is going
You
on.
have no idea.
Which that is actually a beef I have with Disneyland, because I think the knowledge required to make most of the experience, I think it's just too steep now. Like the app, pre-ordering food.
A lot of people are really upset about how most of your time at Disney is spent on the phone now.
hate that.
Because if you want food, there was these, I always say it wrong. Macaron, not macaroon. How do you say it? Macaron?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like the two little crispy, chewy cookies with the thin filling in the middle.
Yeah, good.
They have a Mickey Mouse one that's so good that also has fresh raspberries in it.
Yummy.
And Jessica and I had got it last time, and we were like, we're going to get one when we leave to take home.
Smart.
And then we get there, and they're like, sold out. And we're like, what do you mean sold out? They're like, you have to order it on the app in the middle of the day. So this time we went into it.
That.
10 in the morning, we're on there like ordering our things to pick up at 10 o'clock at night.
Unbelievable.
And thank God we did, because they sold out.
Unbelievable.
But that's what you have to do. Everything is like, you got to like think ahead and figure it out.
Or just not have that as an option. And then how about people just like don't have to then order their Mickey macaron the night before and just walk up and pay for it and get it?
You're going to have a long line. I will say it was nice to just run in there at 10 o'clock. And all day we knew. And then you get a thing, you're like, it's almost time to pick up your cookie.
It's too much.
But the way we played it, which you can play it even with a Disney adult, is none of us, we had a couple things we had to do, like the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. I wanted to do the drawing thing, which we weren't able to because that was a harder one to squeeze in. But we kind of were a go with the flow kind of day. We would just see what has like a 10-minute wait and go do that.
I think that's one of the benefits of a last minute trip is you have less time to create expectation in your mind of how everything's going to go, everything you need to check off. It's kind of like this was thrown to you. So it's like any fun thing that happens is just like a bonus.
And it's free. So it's not
free,
like
yeah.
I spent $300 on this. I got to get everything in. It's
when
like,
you go into like checklist mode at Disneyland, it's a really not fun place to be in.
Yeah. One of the most interesting things I learned on the trip, and is something Nazi told me, because she also has a pass for Disney World in Florida. I had heard on different TikToks that the food in Florida people can't stand and the food at Disneyland people love.
I will attest to that. The food at Disney World, I had some truly heinous meals at Disney World. Literally like lean cuisine level microwave tray slop, $18.
Everything at Disneyland goes viral. It's like people love it. It's delicious. It's beautiful. And she said the reason is Disney World is almost all tourist.
Yeah.
So people come once, they go, and they're not coming back. So they're not like, they don't care what the food is like.
Interesting.
Here, it's almost all residents. So it's people like, that's why I was like, I don't care what we ride, because I know I'll be back here probably in the next 2 years.
Sure.
So I can ride back then.
It's just like, it's a California, growing up in California, you would pop over to Disneyland, and for a couple hours just to get lunch.
Every day she was here. People that have passes, like they'll pop in for dinner. Like they'll just go and like hang out for 2 hours. That's great. Like if you're, because the house that she's staying in is also like 4 minutes away. So it was like super easy. One of the big things I was super excited about was they debuted the brand new animatronic Walt Disney.
How was he?
I am very much a fan of the animatronic Abe Lincoln. I love robots of older white men.
Was he anatomically correct?
I mean, it's Walt Disney.
I'm assuming they let you unzip his pants and check out his schwanz.
Babe, no one. Everyone's like looking over at their kid in the car right now. They're like, we pulled over for this. They're like, how does Marisa always do this? John's talking about the icon.
Don't
Walt
you wonder,
Disney.
though? Don't you wonder?
No, you know what I wonder? You know what I wonder?
Oh,
if Walt could see this now,
what
like,
would he think?
If Walt was in this room and was like, oh my God, I think I would be like, it took you 70 years to make a robot me.
That's a really good point.
But it's pretty cool. Though
Cool.
It was a long line to get in, but it moved very fast. And I thought it was going to be more Robot Walt. You watch like a 10 or 15 minute documentary about Walt Disney and Disneyland, which is cool. I like that. I feel like I could see it on YouTube. And then the curtains open and it's Robot Walt for like 5 minutes.
Nice.
But he's like leaning on a desk and then he stands up and he tells like a story and then he like sits back down on his desk and it's over. And it's like, people are mad at, they say his head's too wide. I'm like, girl, chill.
It's a robot. Like I am celebrating any use of actual physical animatronics as opposed to thank God it wasn't a hologram. Thank God it wasn't 3D. Thank God it wasn't a VR experience.
Do you know how complicated you are? Against everything NASA does, supports every robot endeavor in the world.
I only like robots for the purpose of amusement parks.
Okay.
And I bemoan when they are replaced by VR or 3D.
All right, fair enough. Before you go into the robot exhibit, it is cool. They have a ton of Disney paraphernalia. They have a bunch of like early drawings and schematics and everything like leading up to Disneyland being built. We got a button, which I wore last time. We got like a vintage map. Those were giveaways at the front. You know I love a giveaway. Of course, I got like 5 maps and 2 buttons. And then luckily, because I didn't get the California Adventure map, ran into a nerd just like me who had 5 of the California Adventure maps. We ended up swapping. I got one for Nazi. It was great.
You nerds have to look out for each other.
He seemed so happy. Like it made me so happy. I'm usually like, no, I need all 5. But I was like, this is what it's full about. Like now I have the thing I couldn't get. And you, and it's like, oh, we are all happy nerds.
Human spirit.
A couple of funny things. Nazi would make jokes. She made a joke about Sebastian, and when we were on the or on one of the rides, there was a crab, and she's like, "Does that remind you of anything?" And I was like, "No, because there's only one. I had crabs twice." She was making crabs jokes. I thought that was bringing in lore into the trip. Was very
really
fun.
Funny.
And the only Hazinga that I can think of was, I mean, we were able to keep money cheap. We were just buying food. I bought food I wanted. I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
The only Hazinga I bought these pressed pennies, which they've taken all the joy out of pressed pennies. You don't crank it in. You don't crank anymore. You just put in your money and the penny's already in it.
So, yeah, it's like just like swipe this QR code and like there's pennies already logged in.
The whole fun of a press penny machine is you have to crank it to pick the design you want, then put your penny in and crank it and make it. And now it's like
finding the penny, like how it feels like special that you happen to have a penny. You're coming prepared with your M&M tube.
You got my M&M tube with the shiniest pennies I can find. All that's out the door. And it's like you get 1 penny for $1 or all 8 for $5. So of course you buy all 8 because it's just more economical. And then next to that, they had these 4 medallions. And I'm like, what is even a medallion?
What is a medallion? We're just inventing things.
We're just inventing things. It's not a coin. You just made this medallion. But one of them was Walt's head. And those were 1 medallion for $6, 4 for $20.
They got your number.
No, they didn't. I was like, I'm only buying one. Okay. I'm just going to get the one of Walt for $6.
Was it clear that like that one was the best and the other 3 were not as good?
It's weird. I take so long to make choices with so many things in my life. Like restaurants, if you invite me to dinner, I look at the menu the night before because I cannot make decisions. For pressed pennies and now medallions, I just usually know instantly that's the one I want.
Sure.
I'm great at making that decision. Put that in my resume.
Great at deciding quickly which pressed penny design to get.
That's how I got the job at Avatar. Quick, John, which one of these do you like?
Walt's head.
Walt's head.
Great.
So swipe my phone to buy Walt's head, credit $20. What? I only want the one. I read the thing. If you pay by credit card, default all 4 coins.
There we go.
Can you imagine how many people fall for this?
Of course,
you should have seen how stewy I was hitting all 4 of those buttons. And these dumb medallions just falling down. But it worked out because Nazi actually wanted one of the other ones. Okay. So I was able to give her a gift. And it's whatever. I mean, I'm only out $20.
I mean, but Disneyland nickel and diamond,
They just figure it out.
I feel like it's one of two. It's either cheap to get in and then everything inside is expensive. Or it's expensive to get in and everything inside is cheap. I don't think you can have both.
Yeah.
That's my beef.
Yeah. I saw a video today. Someone's like, was this worth it? I spent $102 for a tour around Disneyland for 2 hours. In my head, I'm like, girl, a tour should just be free. You've already paid $200 to get in.
Yes.
They should just have tours that people can go on. And why am I paying another $100 for that? Why am I paying $37 for this and that? I will say, Nazi did teach me I was able to do several ice capades.
And those should be top secret.
I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to say any more than that. But let's just say I was very hydrated for a very reasonable price.
And the water was ice cold.
Ice, baby.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I think that's it. Oh, the only other thing I'll throw in, I know I've talked about this for so long, but it was just such a great experience. We got to Ride of the Resistance towards the end of the day. That was one of the things I really wanted to do. If you haven't done it, it's a Star Wars ride. I do not ride roller coasters, but this is one of the funnest rides I've ever been on in my life. I've done it 2 other times. You wait in the queue, you get in, whatever, and we were at the front of the line. There's 2 different lines, and we're at the front of one line, and then the other line, they bring this little girl out from the ride, and she had gotten separated from her parents who were front in the line next to us, and she's crying.
Did you think that was part of the ride? If I had never done it before, I'd be like, wow, that little girl robot looks really real.
It wouldn't be hard to think that because this ride's so fun because all the actors that are there, they treat you meanly. They're like, hurry up, we gotta say it. Like they're kind of like dumb.
Yeah, did you get a spanking?
Yeah, I like lean over and like, no, I'm acting. Just go in the ride. But anyway, she's crying, and so they have us go in.
That would be a scary ride to be separated from your family. I haven't been on, but I know
your
it's like
daughter's age.
I'm just imagining you're like in space alone.
There's stormtroopers everywhere. There's like mean actors.
It's like simulated to be like real, like an abyss.
It does look very real.
Very.
And all of a sudden she
dramatic.
turns around and nobody's there
And she's
except
alone.
Kylo Ren.
That would be very scary.
And they're like, so they take her back to her family. So we walk in, and then they have us go into the little thing where they're going to shut the door. But usually you go in, and then 3 other groups go in. So there's 16 people normally in this thing to go
in like
on.
a car.
No, just in the waiting room before you get on the cars. So we get in, the 5 of us, and they're like, you're good. And they shut the door. There's supposed to be 3 other families there. We rode Ride of the Resistance completely alone. Every other car was empty.
That is
It was
awesome.
just us. That may not sound exciting, but it was thrilling. I felt this is what the Kardashians feel like 14 times a day.
So fun.
The privilege. So
where they closed the store just for you.
they closed the store just for me. So I just want to give a
fun.
huge shout out to Nazi. I had such a blast. I can't wait to do it again when you're in town.
And this is just a call out to any other freaks who seem to have hookups or special opportunities for Jon. He has no barrier to meeting you, to spending 12 hours with you. You could get your own personal VIP Jon experience.
As long as I get something out of it, some collectible, she has set the bar high.
Yeah, and you made a new friend.
But it doesn't have to be that high. I mean, no. Take me to the movies.
Sure.
Buy me a new blouse.
You're dating all of the freaks.
It turns into a cult. We're going to be a Netflix show in 20 years.
I think we are.
The on-brand cult. I have
Can't
to get
wait.
bangs. All cult leaders have bangs.
That's true.
All right, there you go. That's our banter. Let's talk about this. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Shitty ice cream.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
I'm going in off-brand. Let's see if you can turn it
I
around.
was about to say, Jon, what is your personal experience with Dippin' Dots? Do you remember places you used to eat them as a kid? Clearly, you're not a fan now, but what is your association when we talk about Dippin' Dots?
If I've had them, I don't remember. I'm sure I must have had them at least once.
So this is based on nothing.
No, because it's based on how can we take a perfect dessert, something that is smooth and creamy, and as you said in the open, make it crunchy and
But you are kind of like a texture queen.
I am. But I like my ice cream creamy. I mean, what is the joke?
Do you know what it is? It does melt in your mouth.
I know, but it starts off as a mouthful of balls.
Which you also wouldn't have a problem with.
I mean, I can take a couple.
All right,
I guess I'll try 2 and see how I feel about it.
Rattle 2 around in your mouth and see what you think.
No, I like the novelty of it. I want them to exist because I do think they should be at fairs and they are fun for kids and they're bright colors.
Sure.
And there is a place for them in this world.
But you have no memory of like eating, they always had it at this amusement park or whatever.
I might have been a little old. Like they may have come out when I was too old for them or something. I feel like certain cartoons, I just missed them, or I was probably busy writing the M&M Mars Company to find out the history. That I just wasn't paying attention to Dippin' Dots.
Yeah,
so I don't have a
cape
big
shopping.
Cape shoplifting. No, I
That's
think I did
true.
buy my cape. No, did I shop? I did.
And then later, after you shoplifted the cape store went out of business.
They did.
Because poor sales.
Yeah.
If your target demographic is mischievous scamps, then your store is screwed because they're going to rob you blind.
They're going to steal everything in there. Cape store is a bad idea. No, we can make this work.
We can make it work.
Yeah, so I don't have a huge connection to them. I'm interested to learn about them. I'm sure it was like someone accidentally dropped a spoonful of ice cream into some liquid nitrogen and it cracked and a bunch of balls happened. And like,
Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I have a very rich history with Dippin' Dots. As I mentioned, I love ice cream, but Dippin' Dots was special because it was rare. You couldn't find it at the grocery store. It was not on every block, certainly not back then. And you could only get it if you were at, in my experience, a theme park or a water park.
Or a gas station.
Not then.
Okay.
Not then.
Those are later.
Those were later.
Right.
So our local water park was called Wild Rivers. This was in Irvine, California. It was closed for a little bit. It reopened. I think it's back open now. And I did go through a weird thing. I'm like oddly like, not titillated. That sounds weird. But looking at abandoned amusement parks, does that like do anything to you?
I think it's interesting. I've looked at, oddly, a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
It like stirs something in me.
When
I
you
don't know what it is. It's like spooky. There's something really eerie about it that I find irresistible. So I looked at YouTube videos of my like childhood water park. Like people would break in and like walk around and film it. And it's like my favorite whatever slide is like covered in graffiti or like abandoned and disarray. And something about it. It's like gives me heebie-jeebies.
It reminds me of like reference, because I did reference, I'm really not just trying to throw this in, for Avatar, but it's like real world reference for like the production designer for like Jurassic Park. It's like when something is abandoned, I do like the idea of when something is abandoned and the earth starts to reclaim its land.
Yes.
Like the roots start to like penetrate through the concrete. It's like, it doesn't matter what you did, I'll get it back. I think the closest thing we have to it here, and it is very close to us, is what's called the old zoo at the zoo.
I thought you were going to say the bridge that you take to get to our house, because
I mean, that's becoming it. I've never seen a bridge that has more weeds in it. It's pure concrete. It's 99 years old. Someone has stole all the lights because it had copper in them, and they're selling the copper, and now weeds are growing out of it, and it's a pothole central.
It looks like an abandoned amusement park.
I can't even...
They should use that bridge as reference for the next Jurassic Park.
Just so you know, on off-brand, whatever's off-brand for me that week, the bridge is always on there as well. It makes me so mad every time I drive over here.
Google Hyperion Bridge, and you can read some news articles about our bridge wars in our little town.
Yeah, but we had the old zoo, which I had a birthday party up at the old zoo once, and it's like all the old abandoned bear cages, and they're all graffitied, and it looks like maybe a couple of satanic rituals have happened there.
It's that same kind of thing. That abandoned thing is really, I don't know, something about it is really fun.
It's like scary and thrilling at the same time.
Yes. So before the water park was abandoned, it was the hot spot for summer break. So when I was I feel like it was like freshman, sophomore, I feel like there were a few years, maybe in middle school, where I had a season pass to the water park. And this is the era where your mom drops you off in the morning. She picks you up when they close. Free as a bird all day.
All day.
No sunscreen.
You just wait until they...
So sunburned.
They shout your name at dusk.
Yes.
Dinner, John.
No pagers, no phones. You were just on your own. Hope you don't. This was where I almost drowned in the wave pool. It was like the wave pool where like you get on a boogie board. It was like an extreme boogie board wave pool, and I don't really know how to swim that well, and I certainly don't know how to boogie board, but I wanted to give it a try. And people were calling out numbers of waves they were going to catch. They were like 1, 2, 3. The sound of a wave pool starting. Do you know that sound? That like chung, chung. Chung. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I do. We did have 2 amusement parks in Cincinnati that I'll give a shout out to. I don't know if they exist. I don't think they do anymore. We had one that was called The Beach.
Okay.
And one that was called Surf Cincinnati.
Wow.
And they had like those sorts of things.
You
like,
should look on YouTube to see if there's abandoned walkthroughs of them.
There probably actually
excited.
is. I feel like they've shut down. I could be wrong. And I just remember the commercial for The Beach was, "Come to the beach, come to the beach." And it was like, "Summer's here. We're going." And I never cared about it. I was a vampire. I was like, I'm not coming to the beach. But I love the name Surf Cincinnati. I need to find an old Surf Cincinnati shirt. Hello, freaks.
The sound, even just like making that sound and thinking about it, makes me scared.
It's like gears, like, because they have to push a lot of water.
Yes, which like the idea of a wave pool, the idea of kids in a wave pool, it's just so scary. I don't know. And I'm like, the ground for some reason, like wave pools were paved in like jaggedy, sharp stucco.
I do remember that because I did get in one because I think they want you to not slip.
I guess, but as a result, then you're getting like you're tumbling, your knees are knocking, you leave all like bloody and scabbed.
You have what?
I'm sorry, what?
Scabs?
That's off-brand.
Oh, right. They don't know. Okay. Join the Patreon, guys. You're missing out.
So I had to get rescued by a lifeguard from this boogie board wave pool because I got in over my head. Literally. I spent so much time at this water park. I may have told this story on the pod before where I peed in line, a long line. You're allowed to pee in line at water parks.
No, who told you that, Bobo? Here's your sister's old quizzes, and if you got to pee in line, pee in line.
In my maybe I was near a drain. Maybe I was upstream from a drain, but just let it rip. You're in a bathing suit. Everything's wet anyway. It's
I
fine.
feel like if I say these things, I am annihilated. You say you pee in line, I'm like, okay.
If you're at a water park, you have to make peace with pee.
Do they still do the thing where if you pee in the pool, like it's bright
turns
blue?
I don't know if that ever was real.
Oh, it wasn't?
Dippin' Dots were only available there. So every time I went, it was like, that was like the treat. My mom would give me like $20 for the whole day. That was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was whatever I needed. And that was a big chunk of that would be going to Dippin' Dots.
So what year are we talking? This is 90?
This is probably like 99, 2000,
Okay.
2001. I can't
Wow,
remember. Somewhere
right
around
before
there.
9/11.
I went on 9/11.
Titanic is out and 9/11 has not yet
I
happened.
actually just found recently my water park, my Wild Rivers ID. So
Oh, wow.
I'll
Put
take
that
a
in the
picture of that. I'll
subs.
put that in the subs. So knowing how important this brand is to me, it means almost nothing to you.
Nothing.
I'm sure our listeners fall somewhere in between. Let's dig into the history of Dippin' Dots. So we have a man named Curt Jones. It's the spring of 1987.
Oh,
what a
okay.
year.
We're 10 years away from Titanic. Man, it's definitely in Cameron's mind. If he hasn't
Sure.
already started pre-planning it, he works a long time on films. 87. It is prime Swatch season.
Unbelievable.
That might have been the first year that they had the Limelight swatch, first plastic swatch with a real diamond, $100. I could not afford one. I now have 4. At the time, I could not afford them. That was really exciting. Like the ads for them would be like sophisticated people in tuxedos
Of
and like a
course.
swatch with, those Limelights. They were a Christmas
You
special.
heal a lot of your inner child's wounds with shopping.
I do.
And I support it.
So 87, I'm there. Cosby, Golden Girls, what a time to be alive.
Truly no time better. And we are on the cusp of an invention that would change ice cream forever. A man named Curt Jones. He lives with his family in...
Not Billy Dots?
No, not Billy Dots. He
Damn.
lives in Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
He works as... This is near your neck of the woods, right, Kentucky?
Very close, yeah.
He works as a microbiologist for a lab, and he is trying to figure out how to make high nutrient animal feed. And so what they're using is yogurt because of like the probiotics and the cultures and things like that would be like a highly nutritious animal feed. And the way that they're trying to figure out how to preserve it and preserve the nutritional value is by freezing it in liquid nitrogen.
I was right about the liquid nitrogen.
You were right about the liquid nitrogen. So when they flash froze this yogurt at extremely low temperatures, it formed little tiny pellets. So to kind of set you up with how Curt Jones, the type of guy he is, he lives on a farm. He has a 5-year-old daughter. He makes homemade ice cream every weekend.
Wow.
So he is a real
Lucky.
cream queen.
There's nothing quite like homemade ice cream. You and I have both made homemade ice cream
Yes.
before.
You're an award winner for your homemade ice
I
cream.
did win an award for my peanut butter ice cream, which I put on Ritz crackers with strawberry jam and made a little ice cream jam sandwich. I think unless you got rid of it, we have the same 80s ice cream maker.
Oh, yeah, it broke.
Oh, yours did?
Yeah,
I
like the
found
lid stopped fitting on it and it didn't, yeah.
I found an in-box one at
really?
a yard sale like
Wow.
10 years ago. So I have like a brand new one.
I am like this close to pulling the trigger on a Ninja Creamy.
I'm surprised you don't have one, to be honest. You
Really?
would make such good use of it. You would make
I
like
feel
healthy
I would.
yogurt bars.
I just wish I need more counter space. I see kitchens.
Okay.
Okay, mister, we saw the size of your barrel of fun.
Well, that's in my bedroom. Did you see someone I took a picture of me with a Peeps pillow and the barrel of fun. Someone's like, this picture's iconic.
It is quite iconic. You could put the ice maker in your bedroom. Sure, why not? It's
I can only
convenient.
get so many things in my bed. All right, so he's
In your
making
bed.
ice cream.
So he
He's
makes ice cream
making
every
dots.
weekend.
I see where this is going.
He's already has the ice cream recipe perfected, and then he has the idea. It's like, well, what would happen? What would happen if I experimented with using this cryogenic freezing technology with my ice cream mix? And of course, the ice cream beat it up into these tiny little frozen balls at negative 40 degrees. So he starts just basically handing it out to family and friends when people would come over to visit, or, friends would have a play date. He would give them little cups of this ice cream and everyone was into it. But he was really busy with his like regular job. So he didn't have like a lot of, he's busy feeding the cows. He doesn't have a lot of energy to like put into this other venture, but it's definitely in his mind. And he just keeps kind of like noodling on it for a while. And then he decides, okay, let's like see what happens if we try to do this on a bigger scale. So just in his parents' garage, now he's in New Grand Chain, Illinois. He starts to kind of...
I gotta say, I love these stories of family and friends getting to try something that goes on to become a huge thing before anyone else gets to.
I find that to be like if you could go back in time and taste like the first version of something when it's just
Big
like
Mac.
a little
For me,
sample.
it's always the Big Mac. I want to try
Yeah.
the first Big Mac. The only thing I don't want to first have is a Cabbage Patch Kid because those bitches were ugly. They were so ugly.
Sometimes the first version is not
the best.
He ended up going home for Christmas and attended a holiday potluck with 40 to 50 neighbors, and he asked everyone to write down an idea for the name of his new ice cream. Some of the ideas that he was throwing out were like yogurts and like creamies. These were his ideas. Once again, if you want something done right, ask a woman. His friend's wife named Vonda Jones. Everyone's like writing down their names. She submitted the name Dip and Dot, like two little characters, which I also think is very cute.
I like that almost more.
I kind of almost like it better.
Draw them up. Give them little stick legs. Have them lick each other. I love it.
The best version was the one the woman came up with. And he was like, did you say Dippin' Dot? And she's like, no, I meant it. He's like, no, great, we're running with it.
But I said it.
He heard it as Dippin' Dots, which he loved, that it's not like a literally what the describing the product, but it evokes the same feeling. It feels like fun. It's playful. It's alliterative. So kids would like the name of it. So that ended up being the name. So now he has to start to think about how to get this to the market. This is a product that nobody is familiar with before. So that ends up being a big barrier of entry for like making this profitable.
If we've learned anything from Shark Tank is how hard it is to get shelf space in a grocery store.
For sure, yeah.
Maybe a little easier back then, but probably still very challenging.
And from Shark Tank, if you have a product like this, it's really reliant on some kind of like demo, or what he's learning is a free sample, because people, they see Dippin' Dots like on a sign. They're like, I don't know what the hell that is.
Because you got to picture ice cream at this time. It's not even as many bars as there are now. It was like you would buy ice cream in like gallon plastic jugs. It was
like Neapolitan.
You know what else it came in? Bricks, cardboard bricks.
Yes.
And they would get all floppy by the time you get to the end. But yeah, it was a different scene.
It was a different scene. We weren't going crazy with the cores and the mix-ins. Ice cream was pretty simple at the time. So this was pretty out there. When he was doing his early market research, he met a guy who ended up being kind of like a shyster. I'm curious if you know these. Pasta Stop. Do you know the chain Pasta Stop? So they were in Lexington, Louisville, Cincinnati, and there was this guy, this shystery kind of guy who was like opening up all these pasta stops like in this area.
I went to Vegas 20 years ago when there was a Fazoli's, which is a drive-through Italian. I'm like, why don't we have Italian fast food?
The Pasta Stop.
It's great to just be able to pull up and get a thing of
meatball.
spaghetti and a meatball and a garlic bread.
Well, maybe you could have in Cincinnati.
Why do these fail everywhere?
At a certain period, the guy who was running the pasta stops was kind of like a con man. He ended up like skipping town and kind of leaving Curt and his wife in the dust. They mortgaged part of their family farm. They maxed out their credit cards. They sold their car. They put their entire life savings, which was $10,000, into opening a Dippin' Dots shop that he said, oh, this is a great location. It's right off the highway. It's next to my new pasta stop location. Turns out it was a bad location. It was just drive-by, no foot traffic. People aren't going to pull off the interstate to go to a Dippin' Dots when they don't know what the product is.
Maybe to listen to a podcast, but definitely not just to get a cup of Dippin' Dots.
Definitely not to get a cup of Dippin' Dots. So they struggled to attract attention, to even get anybody to even know what product they were selling. It ended up being a big flop, and they lost a lot of money, but they learned a lot of lessons, because during that time, they were kind of using that retail space as like a test kitchen. So they were expanding different flavors and trying different combinations. So they do consider that to be like a useful use of that space, because it required all of its own equipment. The refrigeration, the freezers have to be so cold, the nitrogen, everything has to be basically custom built machinery to produce this ice cream on the scale that they would need to have it be a business.
Now, are Dippin' Dots all one flavor? Like, are all the colors the same flavor?
No, it's a combo. It's all mixed up.
Oh, I thought it was like Fruity Pebbles, where everything's just the same. Are those all different flavors?
Oh, actually, I don't know. They might just be different colors.
I thought they were just vanilla or something.
But yeah, Dippin' Dots, it'll be like cookies and cream. They have cream and chocolate and then like Oreo pieces mixed in.
Oh,
so you might like it.
It's probably expanded a lot since.
Sure,
I'm just
yeah.
picturing a rainbow of balls.
No. It's great. You would like it. I'm
see.
convinced you would.
You should have brought some.
So a few years in.
Did you?
I wish.
You don't have Dippin' Dots?
I don't.
Wow.
A few years in, and so
Hazinga,
far...
the first Marisa Hazinga.
I mean, turns out you don't like them, so I guess we'll
Well,
see.
how would I know? I haven't tried them. I could be eating them right now.
A few years in, so far, everything they've done has been a failure. If they put all this money into the business, it's a flop. And they're kind of wondering, well, like, do we keep going with this? He had a good job before. He was pretty successful making cow yogurt. Like, why are we going down this road?
I mean, everyone's still talking about cow yogurt.
Once again, if you want something done right, ask a
woman or me.
Curt's sister, Connie, she decides to take matters into her own hands. She starts calling theme parks in the area to see if they're interested in selling Dippin' Dots. Only one responds, and it's Opryland, which is a country music theme park in Nashville. Have you ever been to Opryland?
I haven't.
It's
I've driven
now.
past Dollywood, but I've not. Wasn't Opryland like a big one? Like, people, isn't there like an Opryland theater or something? Like,
It's since the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
but the
of.
theme park has
is
closed.
that the same thing?
It's the same area, yeah. Opry is the same, yeah.
Got it.
But they're not around anymore. So now they have their first client, and this is eliminating one of their biggest hurdles. It's getting the product like right to the people where they can see it with their own eyes without having to like park and get out of their car to explore what this new invention is. This is another Hazinga. So Opryland picked where the location would be for Dippin' Dots' setup, and the location they picked was at the entrance of a roller coaster.
Oh.
Which, of course, after a year, sales were poor because who wants to eat a big bowl of Dippin' Dots before getting on a roller coaster?
Hazinga.
So this is another time when they could have thought, okay, let's throw in the towel. We tried Opryland. Nothing's been a success so far. He says, no, we're going to stick with it. We just have to like everything that happens, they learn from instead of giving up, which I think is very inspiring because there's so many opportunities where they could have just like called it quits. They say, no, we're going to take control of our location, our operation. They created their own kiosk. They picked their spot where they were selling. They gave a percentage of the sales to the theme park. They had to do a lot of sampling in the beginning, a lot of like 2-for-1, like kind of specials to just get it in people's mouths for the first time. But after the first year, word starts to spread. People remember, oh my God, Dippin' Dots. Have you tried Dippin' Dots? You got to get them when you're there. You're going to Opry, you got to get Dippin' Dots.
It's like Dole Whip at Disney.
It's like Dole Whip at Disney. Like once you try it, it becomes like the thing you have to get when you're there.
Yeah.
They became an instant curiosity. So kids and adults are getting excited about it. Word is spreading. They lean into the hype and they start calling themselves the ice cream of the future.
Perfect.
It's a great slogan because it does look kind of like astronauty. By the early 1990s, the strategy is now clear. Take the ice cream where people gather. So they are set up in malls, movie theaters, zoos, arcades, ballparks. And by the late 1990s, Dippin' Dots was available in over 350 locations across almost every U.S. state, plus Japan and much of Europe, pulling in $20 million a year.
Wow.
This is when things start to really hum.
And it's still family owned.
Still family owned. Year 2000, Dippin' Dots franchising is established. Okay, once you get into the franchise market, we know that's a natural progression. 2004, Dippin' Dots home delivery now available through online ordering.
Someone's home delivering dots to their house?
In like dry ice, yeah.
I need 3 gallons of dots. Can you keep them in a normal... You can't keep them in a normal...
I'm sorry, I'm banned from the zoo. Can you send dots to my house? This is just in time for an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Oh, you know, it's one of her favorite things.
You know, it was in an episode with a segment that was like,
this is...
How I Got Rich or something. And it was
Yeah.
kind of like about like,
Oh.
I don't know, like unexpected inventions. And there's a still that I can't find a video of it anywhere. It's so funny how much of like TV is just lost because like there's no record, like no one was taping this episode of Oprah. But I just saw a still of it, but it's her in front of like a Dippin' Dots kind of kiosk thing. But it was How I Got Rich, and she was trying like one of the sugar-free dots. It was during her skinny phase in 2004, and she really loved it.
We love skinny Oprah.
And of course, Oprah is airing different times throughout the country. It airs on repeats. And so every time the Oprah episode aired, their inbox would be through the roof.
Think what you want about Oprah. She's kind of on my avocado list currently, but back in the day, and maybe still today, she has a lot of power.
She does, yeah.
A lot of purchase power.
She's done a lot of good in the world.
She has.
In the 2000s, some new challenges. So we mentioned that they need to be stored at below 40 degrees, which is far colder than a typical grocery store freezer. So that is why they will never be in the freezer next to the regular ice creams, because you would lose their special shape. They would melt. That cuts off some key...
Dippin' blobs.
It'd be Dippin' blobs. And no one wants a
Nobody
Dippin'
wants a
blob.
blob.
No. So online sales were equally tricky because of the shipping requirements, though people got excited about that option. It ended up not being very practical. As the economy worsened, fewer people are visiting malls. They're not going to amusement parks as much. Sales dropped from 46 million in 2007 to 30 million by 2010. At the same time, costs are starting to spike. Dairy prices are going up. Liquid nitrogen becomes more expensive. Shipping costs are going up. And then they have their biggest blow yet, a patent dispute.
Oh, from who?
So at
The
this
yogurt
point,
guy? The cow yogurt guy?
a cow. At this point, when you think of little frozen ball ice cream, it's really only Dippin' Dots. And it turned out Dippin' Dots had filed a patent in 1989 for their unique freezing process. But a competitor named Mini Melts entered the market.
Nobody's heard of Mini Melts. It sounds like Disney.
Interesting. Minnie Mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But what happened?
You're on the edge of your seat.
What happened? They clearly won.
Mini Melts entered the market and they have a lawsuit. They have a law battle. So Mini Melts countersued, claiming Dippin' Dots was trying to create a monopoly. The court later found, I didn't know about this law and I do take issue with it. The court later found that Dippin' Dots has started selling the product more than a year before filing the patent. So after you file a patent, you have a year for it to get approved before you start selling it. So they had violated this 1-year rule. The result is Dippin' Dots lost their exclusive rights and had to pay Mini Melts nearly $10 million.
Cockroaches.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
I find that to be unbelievable. And at this point, they can't stop others from copying their product. So they're the largest name, but not for long. Mini Melts is on the scene. So as I mentioned, sales had been on a steady decline. This $10 million lawsuit is just like, it feels like it's the nail in the coffin. And in 2011, Dippin' Dots filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Which I still don't really know what it means.
Anymore?
Like, that people do that and then they're like still around. I think it's just protection, but like, I don't know.
We should file for bankruptcy.
No, remember when that was like a thing? That was like the only money thing people would tell you. They're like, if you file for if you file for bankruptcy, you'll have a bad credit score for like 11 years or 7 years or something like that. And I was like,
big deal. Charge it, bitch. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Dots for everyone.
That's right. Dots for all. They owed $11 million they couldn't repay. So they say, you know what, we're going to throw in the towel. We're just going to close. And then who comes in to save them?
I was going to say Santa.
Ho, ho, ho. What do we have here? A failing frozen confectionery company?
This would have made a good reenactment.
It would have been good. Santa's in it. The
Santa's
reenactments
in
don't
it.
have to be real.
No.
An Oklahoma oil man named Scott Fisher purchased the company in 2012 for $12.7 million. He comes in, he's cleaning house. He says, okay, we're going to streamline operations. We're going to build a new production facility. We're going to expand franchising. We're going to acquire Doc Popcorn. Are you familiar with Doc Popcorn?
Not at all.
It seems like a Popcornopolis-y kind of like mall popcorn company.
Okay.
For co-branding opportunities. Now you have it, Dippin' Dots, Doc Popcorn combos.
You know what I think would have been a good collab? Sorry,
What?
Angela. Dippin' Dots plus Nerds.
Oh, okay. Like Nerds in the Dots?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in the same cup. It's like you got your cold and creamy, your
That's
crunchy
interesting.
and sweet.
I
Put them
mean,
together, a bunch of little dots.
We could try it.
Let's try it.
we
I
could
mean, yeah, I
definitely
guess
try
that
it.
would be easy to make.
Oil man Scott Fisher, he expands the product line to include Yo Dots
For yogurt.
yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Don't love the name Yo Dots. I think we should have gotten that the lady from back
It's
at the
not even-
potluck on that.
It's not even of the time. It's 2012. Like that could have been in 93. You could have Yo Dots.
Do you think it was like Yo Dog? like Yo Dog?
Yeah, like yo dots.
Oh,
Right?
God.
I mean,
Maybe.
it's of the time.
It's terrible. So he expanded into the Yo Dots and then he went into supermarkets with special freezers that were cold enough to hold their products. So if you do see a Dippin' Dots, which you'll see them pop up in like a CVS or places like that, they have a special freezer that's separate from the ice cream section, cold enough to hold their products. Fisher says, we're fighting to keep supply up with demand and growth.
So when I see them at like 7-Eleven, are they supplied with this special freezer to carry them?
Yes, they are.
Got it.
Yes, sirree Bob. They will not be in there with the strawberry shortcake bars and the Haagen-Dazs or the dibs.
That's a lot. Do they still make dibs?
They still make dibs, babe.
Is that the little like ice cream that's covered in?
Yes, they still make dibs.
Wow, I haven't had a dibs in forever. I feel like I used to like dibs.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a lot of bitey coldy.
Yeah. It's a little like crunchy slurpy.
Crunchy, slurpy,
Get them
bitey
a
coldy.
little melty, bite the top off and drink it like a little shot glass.
Sure, you could do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, after this, Dippin' Dots and Dibs, battle of the dib.
Oh, the air conditioner came on.
I know you are a little sweaty.
That's embarrassing.
So now things are just pumping. It's 2013. They're distributing to pharmacies, convenience stores. Dippin' Dots are reaching a fan base that never's been able to get to them before. 2014, Guinness World Records awards Dippin' Dots the most ice cream cups prepared in 3 minutes by a team. So stupid.
I think the only thing I hate more than like how many dots it would take to go to the moon is a arbitrary Guinness Book of World Record.
I agree, because it's like, what is it? What size is the team? It says the most ice cream cups prepared in 3 minutes by a team was 473, achieved by Dippin' Dots in downtown Nashville on the 4th of July, 2014. It's like, great, get a bigger team, make twice as many.
Yeah, if I had a team of 500 and we all did one cup, wouldn't we win?
I guess.
Let's do it.
We should try to take their crown.
Let's take that. We should continuously try to get Guinness records.
I think we should make that our mission.
We have to have at least
one.
Play pickleball.
Guinness World Record.
There was something else we just said we would do recently.
Oh, we're going to play bingo, and we're going to go to the Uno live event.
The Uno bar event.
Sounds good.
Okay, the lounge. Okay.
2016, we need a new mascot named
Derby. Derby Dot. Hello, I'm Derby Dot.
Derby Dot looks like a what?
Like a nerd, like a clumpy
nerd.
dot with stick legs and arms and a top hat.
Okay, sounds good. So
Why
it's
do
the
all
nerd. It's
mascots
the
have to have
nerd's
a
mascot.
He doesn't. Oh, does he have a top hat? He might. No, he's so cute. The new nerds
The
one.
new nerds guy is cute. It's Frozetti the Yeti.
No.
A contest was held for fans to name the Yeti, and Frozetti was chosen from over 32,000 names. You know what I love about that? If Frozetti was the best name, that means another name was the worst name, and I wish I could see that list.
Yeah, I just feel like Yeti was like a trend. Yeti is a trendy
is
thing
very 2016.
in the way like mustaches and
sure.
like all those little dumb things. It's like it's dated when you make it.
Absolutely.
Now Derby the dot, that is timeless.
Derby Dot. We could be wearing like a little derby hat.
He like sits on a hot sidewalk and starts to melt, and his mom's like, Derby, get in that freezer.
Derby's dead.
Derby's dead.
Derby, the new mascot is a tombstone.
It's just stick legs on a sidewalk.
This is just a sentence of gibberish. In 2018, I want my Dippin' Dots featuring Marion Jelly, Collado, Jenna Rain, Kenzie Mack, and Toddy McQuay is released. Singers.
I don't know what that
Singers.
meant.
It's a song.
What?
We'll play some. Put some in here, Al.
I don't know what that meant. That was a song title?
Yes.
From a band?
Yes.
That came in. Okay.
Yes.
That was like a hit song?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So this Fisher, this oil man Fisher, he's a big brain. So he's thinking beyond the dot. In 2018, he forms a subsidiary to license the flash freezing and dot forming technology that Dippin' Dots has been using since the 1980s. Pharmaceutical companies started using it to increase the shelf life of their products. The biggest consumer of this technology is Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat. So they started using the freezing technology to make their pelletized products simulate the consistency of the natural fat in their burgers. So if you're chomping into a Beyond Burger and there's a little blob of some kind of soybean oil base, that's basically like a soybean oil Dippin' Dot.
I don't even know what we are anymore. They're trying to emulate that. And
And they're using Dippin' Dots technology to make meat have the similar texture. Pelletized products.
Are Dippin' Dots even still making money? Why is this guy, he went from oil to his life's work is trying to make this thing survive.
He's doing great. He said the impact that this has had on the business is undisputed. With that one, we've been doing really well. It's increased our net substantially and is actually surpassing the Dippin' Dots business right now. So the Dippin' Dots business is now paling in comparison to the pelletized product technology expansion.
Oh my God. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? It was a very good business decision for the oil man because in 2022, he sold Dippin' Dots to J&J Snack Foods for $222 million. So he bought it for $12 million, sold it for $222 million. I'm no math whiz, but I know that number is bigger.
But it was also a decade later.
It was a decade later, sure. In about a decade, yeah.
But
he made $1
is
million.
A good return.
I mean, $100 million.
A good
$200 million. $200 million.
You don't know numbers. That was a good investment.
It was a really good investment. So Dippin' Dots is a delicious treat But do you know?
I don't know that because you didn't bring any.
Do you know that it also played a role in the COVID-19 pandemic?
This heat, I think, is getting to you.
Is it getting to me or is it getting to you?
All right, let's focus.
You're quite
What did
glistening.
it do in COVID?
So you know how they needed to be stored at negative 40 degrees. What else needed to be stored quite cold?
Vaccines?
Vaccines.
So they took the vaccine. Oh, they
They emptied out the tub of Dippin' Dots. They sent it over to Pfizer, filled it up with vaccines,
That's
and
nice.
vaccines were able to stay cold to make it to their arms.
Well, babe.
To make it to their arms in need. This is a fun thing about Dippin' Dots. Do you remember in 2017 when Sean Spicer became press secretary for the White House?
I do.
So whenever people get into a position of power, something fun that people like to do is look back at their old tweets, maybe before they really had quite as polished of a social media presence. So people go back and look at Sean Spicer's tweet history, and they find that back in 2010, before he had any kind of like public platform, he liked to tweet about Dippin' Dots.
Weird.
Are you familiar with this?
I have seen memes, but I don't know
the origin.
The origin.
Okay, so April 8th, 2010, Sean Spicer tweets, Dippin' Dots is not the ice cream of the future.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it? Why is he so mad at him?
Almost a year later, September 22nd, 2011, he tweets again, I think I've said this before, but Dippin' Dots are not the ice cream of the future. Why? Are you okay? He tweeted in 2011, later in 2011, a couple months, an article about Dippin' Dots' apparent financial troubles. Ice cream of the past, Dippin' Dots files for bankruptcy. He's relishing in the company's suffering.
Does anyone know why he has such a beef with them?
No, nobody knows. Then September 7th, 2015, again, he says if Dippin' Dots was truly the ice cream of the future, they would not have run out of vanilla CC at nationals.
Okay, so he was really mad about that. That's like me. I was mad at Taco Bell for quite a while when for 3 trips in a row they were out of mild sauce.
Yes, it is similar. I'm not going to say you have a lot in common with Sean Spicer, but certainly this.
Yeah.
Dippin' Dots responded to him asking, like, is there anything we can do? Can we send you some Dippin' Dots? Let's squash the beef. And he said, sorry for the delay. How about we do something great for those who have served our nation and first responders? In 2017. It's unclear why he has such a beef with Dippin' Dots. It's unclear if they ever squashed it, but he's a passionate man.
Why is he canon in this story?
I don't know.
This is bananas.
I don't know. I will say, though, you were asking about Mini Melts, how Mini Melts fares in the spherical ice cream wars.
Mm-hmm.
Mini Melts is more globally focused. They're in 40 plus countries versus Dippin' Dots, which is in 7. And Mini Melts is expected to exceed Dippin' Dots in sales. Dippin' Dots is actually, I guess, it might be more popular in America, but Mini Melts is on its heels. And
have you ever seen Mini Melts?
I have not seen Mini Melts.
I've never seen Mini Melts. I don't know what their logo looks like. I don't know anything about them.
I looked a little bit at Mini Melts versus Dippin' Dots, see what the public was saying. Some people say Mini Melts used to be trash, now it's better. Dippin' Dots stands by that the reason why they are a superior product to ice cream, because you were speaking earlier, like, well, why would I want a worse version of something I like? If you look at the ice structure under a microscope.
No.
If you did.
Doesn't matter.
I'm sure you have a microscope in your storage unit.
I don't care. Put it on my tongue.
The ice crystal structure is such that it melts more slowly with lower percentage of butter fat. So most ice cream companies rely on air, whipping it and adding air to give it like a fluffy, soft texture.
Of course.
Or adding a lot of butter fat, which can kind of coat your tongue and maybe not be as flavorful. Dippin' Dots is the best of both worlds. It doesn't have any air, it has better ice crystal structure, and it's lower in butter fat.
You can't buy it in grocery stores and you can't keep it at home.
Go to the zoo.
I gotta go to the zoo. I think that's probably why I don't like them, because I eat slowly and I usually end up taking things home.
That is actually probably why you don't like them.
I don't like the pressure of having to eat something there.
That is a huge part of it, because it's a race against the clock to eat Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
But I will pick some up since you didn't bring any, and I will let you know how I feel about them.
Great. Let's meet me at the zoo after this.
Can I have petty cash to get them, or
No.
I have to go into my own financial
pocket.
savings? I'm not an oil tycoon like Scott.
The most recent numbers I have are from 2023, and Dippin' Dots say that they had their most profitable quarter ever, but they're very vague about their numbers. I don't know what the current status of the company. Clearly, they were a very profitable acquisition for J&J Snack Foods. They have a licensing with Chuck E. Cheese. When I was at Chuck E. Cheese for a birthday party, they have Chuck E.'s Cookie Crunch, and I will say the Dippin' Dots were untouched. Kids were going for that cake. I don't know what there is to say about that.
I did know about that because I was Team Chuck E. Cheese in the birthday brand battle. So
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
aware of Dippin' Dots there. So cool. So I got to go to the zoo, the California State Fair,
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Which I do have my cup for you. You can have unlimited free refills of Pepsi products. You can do an ice capade at Chuck E. Cheese. No one will dare to stop you.
I will try that.
They did have one failure, a Hazinga in 2004. They attempted to expand in the non-dot ice cream game with a product called Dots in a Block.
No, that's just normal ice cream.
It was traditional ice cream, but it was studded with Dippin' Dots.
Oh, that's called an inclusion.
Yeah.
So it was normal ice cream. Instead of cookies in it, it had their own dots in it. Dots in a block. Everything. This whole. I don't know why I'm so mad. I'm like
you're
that
hot.
guy. I'm over.
steaming.
I'm steaming hot. If I had Dippin' Dots right now, they'd all be melted.
You could fry an egg on your
Maybe
belly.
I am like Spicer or whatever his
Sean
name is.
Spicer,
I'm just
yeah, you
mad
might be.
at him. I feel like the whole thing feels like a Hazinga.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. We'll see if it stands the test of time. I don't know. They've
They've been around for 70 years. Clearly, they're doing something right.
70.
I mean, whatever. 1987 until now. How long is that? 40 whatever years?
I also did allude to there was an explosion. I think I mentioned that. A nitrous can exploded at one of the production facilities and 10 people were injured. But, you know, that's not one of the risks you take when you're making innovative ice cream. Jon, are Dippin' Dots on brand for you? You look like you're about to faint.
I'm silently laughing that the last thing you throw in is the 10 deaths of the Dippin' Dots.
Injuries.
Oh, 10 injuries. No one died?
No one died.
All right. Is it on brand or off brand for me? Great
Yeah.
question. You would think it would be an instant off brand.
Mm-hmm.
I do still feel like there's a place for them in the world.
Oh, okay.
But is it on brand for me? I'll give it a light on brand for me because I
Oh.
need to try them before I know for sure.
Okay.
It doesn't feel fair to say it's off brand without trying them.
You're a wait and see.
There's something, I'm not sold on them, but I'll
Okay.
try them and
That's
I'll
fair.
get back to you.
That's fair.
And I'm going to assume it's a hard on brand for you.
It's a rock hard on brand for me. I'm a kind of a texture queen myself also, and I find it to be quite fun to eat.
Yeah, they're definitely in your wheelhouse.
For sure.
I
Take me
can
back to the water park, pissing in line, red as a beet, nearly drowned. Take me back. Some of the happiest days of my life.
I wish you the best. I hope you're able to get some Dippin' Dots here soon.
That's it for Dippin' Dots. What flavor do you think you would want if I were to pick you up some? Cookies and cream? Banana split?
Do they have like a birthday cake? They seem like they would have a birthday
probably.
cake. Probably a birthday cake. They don't do like normal flavors like
Well, they do have like vanilla and chocolate, but
but not like butter pecan or.
you could throw some pecans in there.
And I have to eat it immediately.
You
Once you
do.
bring it into the house.
Yes.
Oh, that's why you couldn't have any because you couldn't even keep it.
No, you can't keep it in your freezer.
But that you didn't even think of.
No,
that.
you would need like you would have to eat it right away. If you get it from like 7-Eleven, yes, you have to eat it there. Or if you order it to your house, it comes in dry ice.
Good Lord, it's too complicated.
You are this actually makes a lot of sense because you are somebody you'll come over with food like I picked up dinner and you have food and then you leave it sitting on the table for like 2 hours. I'm like, Jon, eat, your food's hot. You're like, I'm not ready. Or you'll leave it in your bag for a day and a half. You're not like an eat right away kind of guy.
I'm not.
You like
I'm
to
not.
make the food wait for it.
Poisonous.
Yes.
I like to live on the edge and eat poisonous foods.
You're a risk taker. Okay, well, there we go. Hard on for me, a wait and see for you. We'll try some Dippin' Dots.
I'll try
We'll go to the zoo after this.
I'll try to get some soon so I can chime in on it. 'Cause
Sounds good.
I
Can't
am
wait.
curious. I do want to feel that melt in my mouth.
Yes, can't wait.
But all right, great. Thank you. That was a very fun episode. Very on brand for you. Funny thing, someone wrote on the Insta egg yesterday when they found out we were doing Spencer's, like, I gotta say, that feels more like a Marisa brand.
Oh,
And I was
that's
like,
because it's kind of frisky.
I guess because
Interesting.
because you're horny.
I don't know.
I was like, well, it's not.
We like to surprise you.
All right, and before we go, I definitely want to give our shout outs to our Freaks of the Week. If you don't know how to become a Freak of the Week, every Wednesday on our Instagram story, I post a puzzle called an Insta Egg. If you guess the puzzle, you'll not only learn what our brand is going to be that week, you're going to get a little freak badge. I'm going to message you right away, hopefully, and you're going to get your name added to the Wheel of Freaks. I'm going to spin that wheel 5 times and pick 5 freaks of the week. This is for the Igloo Insta Egg, which was a very easy Insta Egg. It was literally a picture of an igloo with beverages inside of it. Most people got it right. There's always some people that get it wrong. I'm not making fun of you, but most of you did a great job. And the following 5 people are this week's freaks of the week. Andrew Haslach, Andrea Kowalski, Joe Anderson, Cheryl Watkins, and Kelsey C. Congratulations. Thank you guys for playing the Insta Egg. If you haven't played, give it a shot. You might enjoy it. Also, check out our Instagram, our main feed. We put in supplemental material and weekly posters of us to announce what the brand is going to be and just a lot of fun stuff. So be sure to check that out. And if you want to see us and not just hear us, check out our new YouTube channel where you can watch the entire episode on YouTube and you can see exactly how sweaty I am currently. I am literally drenched in sweat. The air conditioner finally is kicked on at the end of the show. So now we're going to go into off-brand with me completely dripping wet.
While we're giving shout-outs, I'd like to shout out some lovely listeners who left us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcast. First, we have Kahula. Says, found this pod after the hosts were on Doughboys. It's excellent. The exact right balance of interesting information, personal anecdotes, and shenanigans. Jon is so chaotic, and I love it.
What the hell?
296929491. Wow, a robot listener.
Oh,
Do you think it's Robot Walt?
Probably Robot
Says, my
Walt.
new favorite podcast. Some say it's similar to the podcast Off-Brand, but a little bit on. Very cute. If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do. It helps promote the show. It helps our morale, and we like it. So please do that if you haven't done that already. Check us out on Instagram, @OnBrandThePod. TikTok, @OnBrandThePodcast. You can play Jon's Insta Egg game. You can chat with him in bed. You can see our supplemental materials from the show. We love hearing from you guys over there. And with that, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, guys, we may go off topic, but we'll always be on brand.
Bye.
Bye.